Hello everyone, my name is Lin Yizhang. This is my week 1 learning agility management theory 1 section 800 presentation. So let's get started. So a little bit about myself. I'm from Shenzhen, China, which is the number 3 cities in China right now. It's located in the south part of China, and we're super close to Hong Kong. Like from my home to Hong Kong, it's 10 minutes by car. And I'm a big cat lover, so I'm a mom of 3 cats. This is one of them. She's pretty naughty and cute. I like to travel, so I took this picture when I was studying abroad in the United Kingdom. To be honest, like for the Stonehenge, if you are not there in person, you cannot feel the impressive at all. Like you have to be there. And I like drawing. So when I was bored, I usually draw on paper, either on paper or whiteboard, and this is one of them. And then I also play piano and guitar. And my major is international business and chemistry. And I took these pictures in April at the research fair. And the 2 girls standing on my side, they are my sorority sisters. So let's jump into the class material. Management. So what is management? According to the definitions from the textbook, management is the attainment of organizational goals in an in an effective and efficient manner through planning, organizing, leading, and controlling organizational resources. In total, there are 4 different functions of management. The first one is planning. So planning pretty much just defines like where the organization wants to be in the future and how to get there. For example, if I own an electronic material company which produce conductive silver ink, my planning would be then, for instance, the planning for the next quarter would be how much product do I want to produce, and in order to produce all this product, how much raw material do I need to buy, or like in order to promote my products, my sales and marketing department, how many people of them should be out to reach out those potential clients, and that's for the planning. The second function is organizing. Organizing usually follows the planning and reflect how the organization tries to accomplish the planning. So for instance, in order to produce 100 kilograms of my products, I need to order 80 kilograms of A's and then 20 kilograms of B's into products. Or in order to increase my market share, I need to assign like 20 people to the south part of China to explore the market, and 10 people to north, and 3 people to the west, etc. That's how we're organizing things, organizing different departments, and then to reach our goals. The third function is leading. So leading is used to influence or motivate employees to achieve the goals. So if I'm the CEO, as a leader, I need to show them the goal and then do them together as a team. So as we can see from these pictures, we have ethics, supports, decisions, inspire, and visions, and all that things should combine together and for the leader to lead a team to reach the goal. So that's for leading. The last function is controlling. So controlling pretty much just monitoring the employees, how they do their job, are they doing it correctly, are they doing it okay. For instance, we're supposed to produce 100 kilograms this month, but like they only produce 80 kilograms, and then we gotta ask why, and then we need to figure out why the company or the organization is not on the right track to go. So, what's the difference between management and leadership? In the previous slide, we talked about 4 functions of management. Actually, leadership or leading is one of them. So, a good manager, they're supposed to be a good leader. And there's an old says that a leader has people to follow him or her, but a manager only has people to work for him or her. So, theoretically, a good manager should be a good leader. And that's their relationship between the two terms. Leadership is involved in management. So for my future career goal, science or business, because I'm studying chemistry and international business right now, I think it's the time for me to decide which way to go, since I couldn't do a PhD in Chem and MBA at the same time. In the past 3 months, I was working in an American company which located in Shanghai. It was a business internship, and I figured out based on my personalities, I'm more likely to work in a business position rather than working alone in the lab, because I also worked in a lab for over 2 years. So I think a sales or marketing position is better for me. And then in 5 to 10 years, after I learn the market enough, I think I want to start my own business to be an entrepreneur. And that's my plan for my future. So in order to pursue my future plan, I think I got 3 weaknesses, which are interpersonal skills, communication skills, and risk-taking. Because we know no one born's perfect. And then I want to go for a sales and marketing position, which require a lot of interpersonal skills and communication skills. So that's why I put them here, which are like what I want to improve. And then the third one is risk-taking. Since I have really strong science background, whenever I have a problem, I tend to think really logically. But a lot of time in new business, especially starting a new business, when you make a business decision, not all the successful business decisions are sounded like logically. So I think that's where I should jump out of the box to think things be more innovating or creative. So combined with the learning agility, innovating, performing, reflecting, and risking, I think that's how they can help me. So for innovating, pretty much innovating is just questioning the stated code and then challenging long-term assumptions with the goal and discover new and unique ways to solve the problem. And I think pretty much this can help for my risk-taking, since I'm too logical, and I think I need to improve or using innovating ways or be more creative and be more risk-taking. And the second one is performing. So performing is learning from experiences occurs in the past, and then when we overcome an unfamiliar challenge or in a situation where we have never been. And I think this can use for interpersonal skills, to improve my interpersonal skills and the communication skills, because not every clients are the same. So when we talk to our clients, we figure out that probably doesn't work, and think from the past, whatever we can implies on these situations. And meantime, I think I need to be able to pick up a new skills really quick, and then being response to the situation as quick as possible. I think that's where performing can help me. And reflecting. I think no matter where reflecting helps everything, every day you gotta reflect on what you have done and then what you can improve in the futures. So it helps for everything. The last one is risking. So risking involves venturing into an unknown territories and putting oneself out there to try new things. I think that's pretty much is the risk taking, with a reasonable way and then to do things, but with the more unique idea, with the courage to do it. I think that's what I need to improve for the risk taking. Next, the 4 Google selection hiring criteria versus the learning ability. So for the general connectability, I think it's about reflecting and performing. When there is a question about like a past experience that you have done, and then you gotta reflect it as soon as possible. Or when the employer gave you a question like situation questions, you need to really think about from the past, like performing and give an answer to the employer during the interview. The second one is leadership. So I think actually leadership combine all of them. A good leader should be innovating or creative. They should be reflecting every day, not to make the same mistake again. And they need to be able to do like risk taking and then to perform well. That's for leadership. And then Google is pretty much it just you like what you have done. So it's not really relevant to the learning agility, but it's really important in job searching and then in one's life. Because if you don't like what you have doing, why do you waste your time over there, right? So the last one, role-related knowledge. I think this one is related to reflecting and performing. So when the employer asks you some question about what you have done, like in a specific field, you have to reflecting really quick and then perform, like respond the employer as soon as possible from your past experiences. So as a manager, to use the 4 enabler skills, innovating, performing, risking, and reflecting, I made a 4 bullet point to as a criteria to in the hiring process. The first one is no compromise and no biases for sure. Even though this is not relative to the enablers, but I think this is the most important things. You shouldn't judge the people based on the race or the skins of the color. The second one is personalities and attitudes. So when we want to see if the person fits in this job or not, somehow like the major doesn't really important, because for the professional knowledge part, we can train them during the training process. But if the person is wanting to learn, or if the person is fitting these positions, it's really important with their personalities and attitude. For example, if I want to hire a salesperson, but I couldn't hire people who is introverted, even with a super strong professional background, right? The person doesn't fit in that position. That's why these 2 are important. The third one is the professional knowledge. As we said before, we have the training process, but somehow like for some specific jobs, such as researcher, they have to have professional knowledge to earn this job. For instance, a researcher in a chem lab, like the person has to know how to do this lab work, right? And then the last but not the least, I think this is one of the most important points in this part, compare what the candidate wants and what we can offer. So when we offer a job, like it is not a candidate want a job and we have a position, it's more like the candidate wants something from this company and we can provide them. Meanwhile, we need to see what the candidate can bring to us. So I think that's the most important things in a hiring process as a manager. And this is my references. And thank you for watching.